to start our recording. We forgot to start our recording. Okay, if you've noticed, I've sent you guys the calculation of, not calculation, the question for the calculation, and this is how we're going to calculate first. But before that, I would like to show you how the calculation is done. But for that, I think I will need a phone, or I have to show you on the phone. But let me do my presentation first, then I will explain you how it's done and what's going to be and how it's going to be. But we don't need a presentation for today. It's just that from my previous year's presentation. Anyways, shall I send you guys the formula of the Bresenham, the calculation of the Bresenham? I think no, right? I'll send you right away. I think I have it right here. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I was outside of the city and I just got back and everything is a bit messy over here. So, and I'm using different laptop. Oh my.
Ismail wrote on group that he has weak internet connection right at the moment. If you
Come again?
Ismail said that he has weak internet connection in the Telegram group.
Okay, never mind.
I think he is going to reconnect.
Yeah, we are recording our class, so I think he can watch it again later on, maybe. Okay. If I haven't sent you the formula, please take the formula as it is. So di equals to 2. Di means delta. Okay. So di equals to 2, and delta by y minus delta x. So this is the formula, how it's going to be, the main formula, I mean, for the calculation. And the second formula, how we are calculating, is xn equals to x1 plus 1. It's actually done by another way, but yeah, so then yn equals to y1 plus 1, and then this is the second formula, how it's done, because this is going to be in your midterm exams. So you have to calculate they will give you the start point and end point of the Bresenham line, and then you will have to show the calculation, how it's done and how you've been able to calculate it. All right. So for today, we are going to do the calculation of the Bresenham algorithm line, the straight line. Okay. So if you have a note, please take your note and write down. So this is our start point. Start point is 0 at 0, not all, 0 and 0, and end point, ending point is oh my bad. It equals to 18, let's say, for the sake of the study, and endpoint is x1 y and y1 is equals to 14 by 22. Anyways,
only 4 people?
Yes, of course.
Wow. Teacher also
Я
left.
начал писать.
Mm,
Teacher,
okay.
записывается этот разговор или нет? Ну, записывается.
Yeah, he joined.
Someone has disconnected us from our conversation, and I lost my message, which I was messaging you guys. Yeah, I think I lost my messages. Anyway, I'll do it here.
Is it possible to copy the existing code in the Telegram also? Because I'm using phone for Zoom right now. Thank you.
Of course. Let me copy the codes. Okay. So the main formula is actually when I wrote the it's actually delta, right? So don't
Again, he
Она
disconnected.
красиво. Блин. Короче, у кого питона нету, питон установите. Python.
it's a bit annoying if someone is trying to enter account that we are using right now, and it keeps disconnecting from our class. So let me just message headquarters so no one should not disturb us from our studies. Just give me a minute. So if you got the formulas on the Telegram, then let me share. Let me share back my screen. I mean. So from our let's say starting point is equal by 0, and it equals to in the end 9 by 18, and ending point actually xn, sorry, actually y and 1 being 22. So this is our ending. Is sorry. What we are going to do is, if you have a pen and paper, I think you down because this is how we're going to calculate it. Okay. So what we are going to do in step one, delta, side, I don't know how to use it here, so I will just put as a D. So make sure, all right, for your own purposes. Okay, so delta is xn, but that minus is x0 to 14 minus 9 equals to 5. Okay, make sure that you write down or take a note or something. So delta, let me precise. So delta y equals to 1n and yn equals to 22 minus 18. What? That's 4, correct? So guys, this it on the paper and upload it on the most of the guys failed from this subject point of exam. They didn't know how to calculate it. So what's going to be a step 2? Step 2 is calculation of the okay. So this is actually pk, you know, pk to delta y formula that I send you minus delta. How it's going to be is actually, let's, oh my god, what is the, so anyways, so pk pk equals to 3, and I'm going to show you how 3x. So we are taking 2 from the top. When we get 2, that's multiplied by 4, which is this guy over here, minus 5, the formula that I send you, okay? Equals 3. That the 3, what we are doing is that pk,
Actually, your connection is very lagging. You have a weak connection at the moment.
my internet,
Yeah.
yeah,
We didn't catch you at all.
not at all. Let me connect to.
Yeah,
Let me
I know that
connect.
that is a system of equations, like, but what are we supposed to do in the Python, etc.
So, can you hear me, guys, now?
Yeah, it's better now.
No, it's better, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So where were I, and where did you stop? I mean, where did you stop hearing me? At step 2? That's actually
Step 2, yeah.
So calculation of the decisions, how we are going to calculate our decision. Okay, so pk is actually a formula where you have to get the lines of the pixels of the squares in the, what do you call it? The Berzenham line is actually pk equals to 2 delta y minus delta x. So if you take the 2, which is this guy, multiply by 4 and minus 5, it's actually you're getting 3. So pk equals 3. Okay, if in step 3, the next stage, if pk, which is this guy, greater than 0, you have to, in this case, you have to calculate like this. If the pk is greater than 0, because over here we are getting pk as a 3, right?
Yeah.
The case is the case second is satisfied, but I'll explain you later. If the pk is lower than 0, that could be a -1. So you will have to start from the -1. Okay. How does the formula for the step 3 works is how the formula for pk works is that pk plus 1, sorry, plus 1 equals to xk plus 1. Okay, so this is for before this formula. Actually, I forgot to mention you that there is one more formula that you have to take care. pk plus 1 is actually for pk equals for pk plus 2 delta y. And by this, when you're calculating, you always must remember that there is always -2 delta x1. It's actually a small delta. Okay, and then this goes here, but this is for not main purposes, but that's for if you are getting yeah, correct. If you're getting another case, for example, if the pk is lower than 0, but I will explain this part later. Okay, so how the calculation works is actually like this: xk plus 1, that equals xk plus 1, and then you take that equals 3 plus 2, which is we take x multiplied by 4, and then -2 on x5, and then if you minus everything by separately, sorry, let me take this like that so you would understand better. So in the result, we are getting 1. Actually, take it like that. So what we are getting, 4 minus 5, is you're getting 1 in the result. If you take yk plus 1, that goes actually together, but never mind. Yk plus 1 again, and then your result will be 9 plus 1 equals to 10, right? And then this one actually goes back to, I'll explain you later the main in the main thing. Okay, sorry, my mistake.
Is
I
it possible to
did
show
wrong.
also in IDE in Python?
Yeah, yeah. In Python we will practice on later, because I should get from headquarters the file that we should practice actually. So maybe in not today's class, maybe in after your midterm, because last week when I spoke to the person in charge, she told me that in your midterm you will not be coding, but I can give you as a homework, but I cannot give you as a homework because we didn't practice yet. Correct?
Okay. Because in Word is not quite easy to understand.
Yeah, I will show you in the tables to understand why our the starting point and end point is actually getting this kind of result, and I will draw it for you and show it to you why and how it's going to work actually. Okay, Actually, I did a small mistake over here, and I think you didn't notice it because this guy shouldn't be here because you were not paying attention. Am I correct? And you don't know how to calculate in algorithm. Okay. Okay.
We don't
Actually,
follow algorithm yet.
no, it's not you don't follow. It's about whether you're following my voice or not.
Mhm.
It was about that. So mm, if I understand that if you are working and you're at middle of something and you have to pay attention on your class as well, because I'm also working at another place and I'm taking my time to explain you everything. So pay attention to my voice, and if I'm doing something wrong, please let me know, because this is your time and this is your study and this is your money as well. Let's be honest, I'm getting paid to give you classes, right? So you have to pay attention at least, because last year we had a misunderstanding with the students and they failed their midterm exam and they were blaming me because they were not attending my class and they were not listening to my class as well. So it was good to mention about the coding. Before we start coding, we should understand how to calculate our coding and how it works, actually, the algorithm, because we are not coding the front end. We're not coding a design. We are coding the data structure, the backend, the database. Okay, so we have to understand it first, and we have to calculate it with our brain on the hand. Then we can start coding. And I got a bit scolded from the last time because before making the calculation on the paper, I straight away went to the coding without making any calculation like this because I didn't show them. I was a bit scolded. So this is why I'm trying to explain you guys. So who can tell me where did I make a mistake over here? This part, I already told you guys that I made a mistake over here, and it was here, this guy, where it's supposed to be. I mean, how did I make a mistake over here? So actually, I just replaced the numbers from one place to second place, actually. If nobody can tell me, just tell me that you cannot tell me. I mean, you don't know. So we wouldn't waste our time and switch to the next our next step. I mean, okay, nobody want to tell me it was actually supposed to be here. So this is actually the calculation, and I will show you later on the calculation, how it's done and how it's supposed to be done. I mean, why is it? What is that you're showing? You don't have to show me what you're doing, but yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, my microphone was on. I mean, the calculation 2 times 8, you just need to put in the step 3, right? The
2
last
times
one.
8.
No, 2 times 4 and 2 times 5. That initially was 1.
Yeah.
And you just moved to right, or what? What did you do? Because the internet was poor at the moment. I didn't catch you.
No. You see, this formula is actually the calculation. Why am I getting 1 over here? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm calculating this guy, the 3 plus 2, and x. That's not multiplying. We're not multiplying.
That's x.
That's x.
Okay,
We are not multiplying. No, over here we don't have multiplication yet. But we will have multiplication, but we are not multiplying yet. We are plus and minus.
It seems like multiplication, yeah, because of that.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's not multiplying. It's just x. We are calculating x right now, then we are calculating y from stage 1 to stage 2. Okay.
Mm,
Uh,
okay.
so this actually I had to show you on with the correct formulas due to the symbols on my words. I think it will take us like a long time to practice if I look for the symbols. Anyways, I will send you the real formula, and then I will send to you on the group for your practices. And I will give you a homework, like maybe not more than 2, maybe 1 or 2. But you guys, your calculation is supposed to be not the same with each other. Maybe I will give you all of you. How many of you here? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of you. Are you guys okay if I give you each of you the separate tasks for homework?
Yeah, okay, it will be great.
Okay.
Okay. By that, we can be sure that you didn't copy from your friend. Because as for last year, they've copied from each other and they got 0 for the plagiarism that they've copied from the internet, and they copied from the friends as well, and they got plagiarism, and so yeah, so they got 0 because of that. So anyways, moving on, we have 80, this guy over here, right? In y, which is the endpoint, so we're getting 18 plus 1 is actually equals to 19, right? So I will show you in the table how it's actually being done and why are we doing all this y plus yk plus 1, yk plus 2, and so on, okay? And actually I did it here a bit wrong thing. There is no j over here. Okay, moving on to the next page. Can anyone help me to continue in this part? Or are you guys still?
I have a question.
Yeah, come on, go ahead.
So where does this number come from? I mean, like 9,
Which number?
18, 9, and all the numbers.
Okay, you see,
I
we over here, I wrote down the task that we are going to calculate. Our task is starts from point 0 and ends at 9 and 18 for the x, that's starting point. And then for the ending point, it's actually we are getting 14 and 22. So where all this number, the 9, we're getting 9, 18, 22, we're getting over from this guy. So we are kind of calculating from bottom to top. How did we get to 14 and 22? How did we, I mean, the task is to calculate how did we get from 22 and from 0 to 22. Once we're finished, I will show you. Okay, how can I draw? Okay, let me show you on the paper. I'll connect with my phone and I will draw it for you and explain you better what we're doing over here. Where's my zoom? Zoom. Okay, I got it. Yeah. Got that. So,
Recording in progress.
oh my God. Okay. Anyways, if you can see my camera, oh, that's my phone camera. How can I switch to the, okay, over here. You see, that's my paper. I show it to you like that, like this. We have the graph like that. That's our x, that's our a, I mean y, and that's our point 0. Am I correct? So if I do it like that, I think you can see it now, right? Or should I draw you a bit bigger line?
It's okay. It's
I
okay.
think it, no. Let me draw you a bigger line. That's our y, that's our x, and that's our point 0. Over here we have 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. 5, what did I have here? 10, 15, 20, 25. So what we had here, 9 by 18. So the starting point and ending point is 14 by 22. So where do we have 14? We have 14 over here somewhere. I don't know. Here, maybe, right? The starting point and ending point of that is somewhere here for the x. And we have 14 by 22. We have 14 here and 22 somewhere here. Am I correct? So our 9 is here. So what we are doing is that we are calculating for our each step. So if we are drawing from somewhere. If we have 9 here, we're drawing from somewhere here. And then we are keep drawing until we reach 22. So if we reach 22, we are ending somewhere here like that. Right? So our line is supposed to be something like this. So we are kind of calculating how did we get from this point to this point, and what numbers are we getting. If we're drawing something like line like this, so we're supposed to know our start point and end point is here, and how are we calculating these guys between them. So what numbers are we getting exactly? This is what we are trying to calculate right now. You get it?
Yes.
So
I got it.
this guy on my screen, if you see the 9, 18, and 14, 22, the starting point is 9, 18, and ending point of the y and x is 14 by 22. So are we starting from 22 or from 14? So we're starting from 14 and we end in 22. So we're supposed to know which is 14 and which is 22 for the ending point. Are we getting from 14 from the x, or are we getting from y? Of course, we're getting from x because 14 stands in the beginning. So this is what we're doing. So in order to calculate our numbers, the points of the line, we are minusing and adding, not multiplying, but adding. So can I switch off my phone right now if you guys have understood?
Yeah.
Sorry, my hand is a bit shaking.
Yes.
So, anyways, I was saying, I was a bit kind of, what do I say? So, if you got this 9 and we are adding 1 point, so we have 10, right? We're adding for x point plus 1. This is the formula what we are doing actually, why we are adding plus 1. So when we add 9 by 1. It's actually 10. So it's kind of this. Let me explain this topic, not the topic, the subject itself, the computer graphics. It's actually supposed to be in our high school, not even the high school, the secondary school, what we call not the college, the one we start from first class to 11th class. This is actually supposed to be in that course, but if as long as we didn't have, so we are studying this. Okay, so please understand. It's going to kind of look like that you're studying the school's program, but it's not, because we didn't study this in our school, and this is why we're studying this class right now. Okay, so if we take as a table, if I explain you as a table, let me insert a table. We have how many? 4. Sorry, let me draw it back again. So I'm trying to explain you what we are actually doing here. That's our pk. That goes pk plus 1. The calculation, the algorithm, the calculation of the algorithm, actually, I'm trying to explain. So xk plus 1, and that would be the next one, yk plus 1. Okay. So in the first place, what we got, what equals to pk actually? The pk equals to 3, right? Over here, this guy, when we calculated on the top, this one. And who can tell me how did we calculate it? How did we got the pk, the equals to 3? No one can tell me. Can you? Actually, I have explained you in the beginning of our class, because it was in step 2. Can anyone explain me? Why did we get pk equal to 3? And how, I mean, not why, how did we get pk by 3? I mean, equals to 3. No one can tell me, is it?
It's like once we did in the step 2 to find the pk, we just multiply 2 to like dy and subtracted
Substitute.
dx. It's like, can I write in the chat?
Come again?
Can I write in the chat?
Yeah, sure.
Just a moment.
How did we got the pk equals to 3? That was a question. Here we have the formula, and how did we got the pk
I think to
equals
delta
to 3?
y, it's 8 minus delta x. Delta x is going to be 5. 8 minus 5 is 3. Am I correct?
That's correct. Actually, this is how we got the pk equals to 3.
Mhm.
So this is how we got the pk equals to 3. And if our pk is greater than 0, then we are calculating what we are doing over here, actually. Okay. If our pk was, sorry, I did a mistake here as well, lower than 0, I mean below 0, then we had to calculate in otherwise, and I will show you in our later course today, not tomorrow, of course. So anyway, okay, pk plus 1, what we are getting over here, we are getting only 1 because we are multiplying. Because our pk is greater than 0, of course we are getting 1. And our xk is equals to 9. I'm getting 9 from here, right?
Perhaps
So this is
10.
my starting. No, hold on. I'm explaining. Don't rush up. We're not multiplying yet. We are at step 1 right now. It's actually in the beginning, our starting point. We are getting 9 from here. So our xk equals to 9, this guy here, and xy equals to 18. I mean, yk equals to, 18. And then what we're actually doing is that in the present, we are adding up by 1. We are adding up by 1 because our pk is greater than 0, not 0 itself, not minus 1. We are getting 1 for the pk, right? So this is what our calculation is getting. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm having a back pain. So anyway, then if our pk is lower than 0, which is minus 1, we will calculate it otherwise, and I will show you how. So we don't look at pk plus 1 right now, this table. I'll explain later. And what we are doing over here is actually we have to calculate it. Let's do step 4. In our step 4, who can tell me? Nobody can tell me, sorry. I'm just monkeying around. In step 4, we're supposed to calculate the outcome of the next stages. So how did we get from 9 to 14, and how did we get from 18 to 22? So we're supposed to add up plus 1, of course, plus 1. And where should we stop? Can you tell me? When should we stop?
Stop. Is it in the second column?
Where end point, I
sorry.
mean 22.
My background. Of course, we're supposed to stop at 22. But until then, we
Starting the
have
point
to,
from 0 to 22, right?
of course, this is what we did right here. Actually, we add up this guy 9 plus 1. For the xk, we are getting 10, and for the yk, I mean y axis, where we plus 18 plus 1. So once we are adding up, we are getting 11, 12, 13, 14, right? So when we are adding up plus 1 for the each, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And then, what was it? We got 22 until 22. Sorry, I carried up a bit. So once we got 22 here and 14 here, we should stop here.
As I see, it's like increment, right?
Yes, we're incrementing. So we should stop here because we already got our 14. Yes, this is where we have to stop and where we are getting our numbers from here. And then
now I see what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, this is how we have to calculate that for Bresenham algorithm line. Okay, so this is what your formula is going to be and what you have to work on. And the one I sent you on the Telegram, that was on the chat, right? Oh, sorry, I didn't see your. Sorry, I didn't see your message, by the way. So the one I sent you over here, if you can see that x at the 0, the starting point, and until x7 and xy p7. So using Wilhelmstedt line algorithm, if x begins and y begin at 0, 6, and 4, and xn is minus 13 and minus 19. So if our pk is greater than 0, which means pk is minus 1, let's, for the sake of the study, and how are you going to calculate over here, this guy? Can anyone tell me? Maybe you have any ideas?
What exactly step 4?
No, it's there's no step 4 yet. I'm just giving you an example. If our because our pk is 3 and it's greater than 0, right?
Yes.
We calculated the one with the greater than 0. What if our pk is lower than 0, which is minus 1?
Yes. Minus 2, minus 3.
Yeah, minus 2, minus 3, it will continue.
How are we going to calculate it? You've seen the calculation over here for the plus. How about for the minus? What do you think?
Ending point, we need to describe it. For example, minus 15 or minus 16.
Can you show it to me?
I guess it depends on xk and yk.
No, x end or maybe y end.
You see, your starting point and ending point is from the minus, right? So it's minus 6, and ending point is minus 13 and minus 9. So how are we going to calculate within this formula? Because if you see, I got pk greater than 0 because my pk is equal to 3 over here. What if my pk, let's say for the sake of study, my pk equals to minus 1? Is it greater than 0 or it's not greater than
Lower.
0?
Lower than
Of course,
0.
it's lower than 0. So we have to use this guy. So how are we going to calculate here? After this, you got the formula. You got the formula. This guy is the formula. This is
This
our
time we
formula.
need to use decrement.
Perhaps.
Yeah. Should you try to calculate?
Not yet, but I think that we just need to substitute.
Of course, you will need to substitute, not multiply. But how it's going to work? Because I've shown you the.
I think it's
version.
going to be infinite number, no? It's not going to stop if we don't declare ending point.
Yeah, if you don't get to the ending point, you will not find the wave. I mean, you will not end it. So if our pk is lower than 0, which is minus 1, or I don't know, minus 6, minus 10, whatever it is. This stick is a minus 1. So how are we going to calculate our calculation for the minus 1? Our formula, how is it going to work? Let me just show you here. If our pk is lower than 0, that's minus 1, that equals to pk plus 2 delta y, and that equals to 1 plus 2 x4. So we are getting 8 by 1, I mean minus. So don't look at that. Let me just erase it. Otherwise, you will get confused later. So how our calculation is going to work? So xk plus 1, that's supposed to be actually here, the plus sign.
I have a question.
Yes, come again. I mean, go on.
White is 1 plus 2. It should be, I guess, minus 1 because our key is equal to minus 1. He said.
Oh, this one over here. Oh, yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, yeah. So our -1, the PK -1. So we are calculating. Good job, actually. My mistake. Anyway, so we are adding up +1. So this is how what equal works. Okay, so we are adding 11 plus 1, that equals to 12. Okay, so our yk plus 1, that equals to yk equals to 20 liter. So we are not calculating y because our pk is -1. Okay, so we are not going to calculate our y-axis, the yk itself. Okay, because well, because our y-axis are not getting any points because we are getting the pk is actually lower than 0. So this is why we are not calculating the yk. Okay, so this is how you're going to calculate it. But so I've shown you for the ending point is with the minus or greater than 0 or lower than 0. So what do you think? How our drawing would look like in the process, in rasterizing the process, the line, how it's going to look like? For example, let's say, for the sake of the study, let's draw right here a line. Table, draw a table. Maybe I can draw it here. And I think I can handle it.
I guess it is in this section shape.
I cannot understand what you just say.
Insert.
Come again. So if we how can I draw it here actually?
I guess
I don't
like
know how
drawing
can I draw it.
shapes. Let me
Shapes. Oh, yeah. You're correct.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for that. Because I'm not familiar with this kind of software. Oh my God. Hold on. Anyways, let me draw it again. So over here, let's imagine for the sake of the study, we have a drawing like I just showed you on my notebook. Actually, not my laptop, and kind of a bit hard for me to explain you on this PC. So I have 25 here. Let's say I have 15 here. Let's say I have 5 here. And I have 0 over there. So my ending point is 0. here, somewhere here. So let's see. Our x is at 9 and our y is at 18, right? So my x would be at 9, so it will be somewhere here, right? Let's imagine. So my x is here. Let me outline weight. So my x is somewhere here. My y would be, if he was, what was the number? Again, 18.
18.
Right, that was 18. So it was somewhere here, correct?
Mhm.
So I started drawing from this line, from here, somewhere. So I start drawing somewhere between here, correct? So I have somewhere between here, and then until I have 22 here, right? 22, the ending point. So my x position ends at 14, the x-axis ends at 14, and my y-axis ends for 22, at 22, I mean. So imagine if the 14 would be somewhere here, and 22 would be somewhere here. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So my line supposed to be drawing. It's not that much of the line actually, but still,
It's like diagonal, right?
of course.
Mhm.
Okay. Yep. Let's imagine that this is our endpoint over here. So our line would be something like this. Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
So we draw a line like that. The given numbers was like that actually. The start point and end point for y-axis. Start point here for y-axis and x-axis is here, and end point our these guys are here, correct? So we have to draw a line step by step for the each section of the number for the each point. Okay, so this is how what we did just now for with the calculation. We draw a straight line for the computer for in Python in the background or backend, this line. So this is how we are going to rasterize our image in our next semester, I think. So this is where you're going to, sorry, this is where you're going to code in Python. I was strictly told that we shouldn't do it yet, but we will code in future, like after your midterm. But before that, you have to practice your calculation. So actually, today's class is supposed to be midpoint calculation, midpoint drawing a line. It's not present from drawing actually, but you have to draw a line from the midpoint and circle and curve drawing. And we'll be doing a calculation for that starting from our next class. And for today, okay, let me give you a homework. If you have any questions, of course, you will be able to message me on Telegram for the private message. Okay, for the first question with the minus, who's going to take? Who shall I give it to? Give it to first? Who's willing to take it first? I mean, my first
Okay, I
question.
want.
Oh, so brave. Should I send you on the group, on the Telegram group? I mean,
Yeah, if you will do it, okay.
let me tag you first. Oh, I think this side handler, right? Okay. Oh, bold tongue, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. This is your question.
Mhm. Okay.
Second one, who's willing to take the second question?
Is that the homework,
Who?
right?
That's the homework, yes. So Dostan,
Yes.
take in mind that this question might come up in your midterm question. So you have to be very careful about that. Dostan, how can I find you on Dostan Nabotov, correct?
Yes. Yep.
So this is your homework. The next one, who's willing to take?
I
Okay, Anastasia, right?
yes.
Okay. Can I find you on Telegram? I think I found you. So this is your homework. Who's next?
I'm
Your name
Anwar
is Anwar.
Jabbar.
Okay. On Telegram.
Anur
How
Uswi.
can I? Oh, okay. This is your homework. Next. Who else? Is that all? Only 4 people? Only 4. Come on.
Yeah. Only 4.
Pity. Too pity. There's gonna be midterm exams soon. I think at end of this month or beginning of the next month. And I hope you guys you can make it. It's not that hard actually. It's up to how your English is good. I mean, how your English is good because from our last year's exam, midterm exams, it was a bit kind of problem with the guys because their English were a bit poor and they didn't understand the questions. Okay. So for today, I think our class is done. I will send you guys my next presentation for the next class. That's going to be a midpoint drawing lines. So yeah, I think for today we can finish up a bit earlier. We have to go to lunch, right?
I have a
Yes.
question.
Of course.
Can you send this Word file to Telegram, please?
Oh, this one, just now what we did on our class, is it?
Yes, this one.
As it is or what? Or should I edit a bit here and there?
It,
As
it
it is,
doesn't
right?
matter. It doesn't matter.
Sure, no problem. Oh my God. Let me save it first. Because this is not my computer and this is why I'm having a bit trouble with using it. So this is our um, okay. I think I saved it on my desktop and no, not there. Come on. Okay, that was on my documents. If I don't send you right now, then I will forget it. So let me just send you right away. So here you go. If you guys have any further questions, please hit me, and then we'll finish our class after that. If you don't, then we'll finish right away. Oh. for the rest of you guys. Okay. Any more questions?
No
No
question.
questions at all. Yeah.
It's clear.
Okay. I see that Ismail Ashrafov has joined. Do you need the homework, Ismail, by the way? You want to do the homework? Hello, Ismail. He didn't answer, but if you need the homework, Ismail, please tag me on the Telegram and write to me on the group if you want. But for today's class, I think we're going to finish a bit earlier, like 10, 20 minutes, I think 10 minutes earlier. Thank you for you guys attending my class and being active on the class as well. Appreciate it a lot, and that means a lot to me
Thank
for you
you
guys
too.
attending my class.
Mhm.
Thank you, and have a
By
good
the end
day.
of lesson, I got what it's supposed to do. 4 cycles.
Come
It's
again?
like increment.
I didn't get you.
By the end of the lesson, I mean, the increment,
Uh-huh.
decrement, I just got it by the end of the lesson. But
Oh man, oh man. That's why you had to listen from the beginning of the class, because that's the main
yeah.
point. Yeah. But anyways, I'm glad to help you guys further, because we are kind of studying and doing everything together. But at the midterms and final exams, I wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
help you like that. All right. So please feel free to message me, call me, or contact me, or whatever it is, to get to understand what you're doing actually at the class. Okay.
Okay.
I was happy to see you again, and I will see you on the next week. Okay. Have a good day.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
See you.
teacher.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.